how do we measure the impact of our engagement with companies?
Measuring the impact of our engagement takes time. You know, we are long-term investors, so therefore you're looking at it on a long-term basis rather than an easy hit, so to speak. You know, I can think of an example of an engagement we started probably now over 2 years ago with a company, and it was very much about the board composition. Diversity of that board composition, but also having people who really understood the way that the UK looks at corporate governance, as it had a very heavy US influence on that board. The other aspect, you know, of the engagement with that company was about the clarity and the detail behind the remuneration. And we're really pleased. You know, it wasn't like overnight they went, hey, here you go. But actually we've seen a change within the board composition, which we really support. And it wasn't just diversity for diversity's sake. It absolutely had merit. And also far more detail about the remuneration KPIs, you know, key performance indicators, which is very important for us.
So I know Quilter Cheviot is a signatory on the 30% Club. Why is that diversity so important when looking at running companies?
So the 30% Club is about the aspiration that, you know, boards of the largest companies in the UK have 30% female representation. It's not about quotas. And I also think the diversity question is not just about gender. It's about how did those people come onto the board? What is the recruitment process? What is the board refreshment process? i.e., what is the succession planning? And it's about avoiding groupthink. If you have a board of 8 people, all from the same background, all with the same skill set, you are not going to have challenge. You need to have challenge on boards, and that's why diversity, not just gender diversity, is extremely important to us as investors.
Executive remuneration is a really big topic and very covered in the financial press. How do we engage with companies on that?
Executive remuneration is obviously also always something that the media loves because it's a great headline. X was paid hundreds of millions of pounds. I am exaggerating somewhat. And obviously the poor worker is paid very little. For us, executive remuneration is not saying, look, you shouldn't be paid X amount of money, but it's understanding, is that executive really integral to the success of the company, or would the company be successful without them? And it's also then making sure that the payments of those, you know, that remuneration is of a long-term nature. We're not about quarterly reporting, we are about long-term investment. Therefore, it's making sure that, frankly, they have skin in the game and they are only being rewarded for actually achieving those targets. We will vote against, and we have done, we will vote against companies that start trying to move the goalpost. One of my favourites last year was about sterling weakness. If sterling hadn't been weak, they would have achieved their targets. What happened with sterling strength? Was it, well, they were helped massively by sterling, so therefore we're actually going to reduce the payment? No, it can't be a one-way trade. And it's about understanding that obviously paying inflated remuneration packages to executives is hitting, you know, shareholder returns. It's as simple as that for us. But we do want to reward good performance.